switch.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Tonight, we will be at virtual Daytona International Speedway for 30 heart-pounding laps in the NASCAR Xfinity cars. Should be an exciting race. I'm your announcer, Atlee @ManWees, and joining me tonight to call the action is experienced iRacer Dustin Dean. Hey, Dustin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I expecting to see some good side-by-side action here tonight at Daytona, and it's a cold, chilly Friday evening, so we should have some good racing.
Yeah, last race was great at Talladega, but we are heading back to Daytona with the Xfinity cars. Xfinity cars are always fun when they're on the track, so I'm excited to see what's gonna happen here. And as always, this race is sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing, or the series, I should say. And Fort Worth Screen Printing, since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users like you all throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is actually the official apparel supplier of two big NASCAR racing teams, Mike Harmon Racing and Rick Ware Racing. If you are in need of quality screen printed t-shirts for anything, please look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing, or find them online at fwscreen.com. And I've actually, if you are interested in getting some screen printed t-shirts for anything, whether it's a family reunion or something going on, I put the link of Fort Worth Screen Printing's website in the description, so make sure to go and check that out.
Absolutely, as we're getting ready for some heat racing tonight. Usually it's found more common on your local short dirt track, but tonight here at the big banks of Daytona, and we will have two 15-lap shootouts. That'll give us a total of 25 cars for the feature tonight, and that is only 30 laps. So not a lot of time between each heat before this main feature.
Yeah, and like you said, super speedways aren't very much a common place for heat races, but here in this league, they have them, and a lot of times heat races can make for some exciting racing.
Yeah, I think last week at Talladega was probably the most exciting we've seen for both heats. They both came right down to the line, and they both kept it clean. There wasn't a whole lot of wrecks. It was actually really, really good. As you see, Crystal King, speaking of wrecks, going through the infield right there, trying to save it, getting some air there, and finally slides to the apron there, and he is good. So, or maybe she, Crystal. Either way.
We do have 50 seconds left in practice, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of qualifying, I do ask for you to share the stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. There should be a button on all three platforms for you to do that, because it does give exposure to the league, the drivers out there, and the sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing. As there's the Fort Worth Screen Printing. Oh no, that's Athens Screen Printing car. But still,
John
again,
Garrett
gives exposure to everything.
Yeah, and if you've been following us along here in the Superspeedway Series, you know some of these names that we're talking about here tonight. We got Wyatt C. Martin in the house, John Garrett, Brandon Roderick now on your screen. A bunch of these names we see oftentimes up front as we wind down practice and we'll get ready to qualify. You'll start to see some of those names jump up there to the top of the list, I believe. Why is that important, Atlee?
Well, another big thing with names is that the point standings is filled with all those names that you just mentioned, of people that have been consistently in this races and consistently up front. Curtis Critchley is still the points leader, but only 1 point behind them is Jabo, Justin Botello. Then third in points is John Garrett. Fourth is Matthew T. Lee. Fifth, Raymond Ridonor the second. Sixth, Aaron Smith the second. Finishing seventh in points is Jason Nethery. Eighth in points, Jonathan Thompson. Ninth, Garrett Maines. And 10th is Brandon Gagnon. So all 10 of those drivers have came out to all these super speedway races and are in the front very, very consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. Those top few drivers really always try to make their way to the front. And as we start qualifying here, I think it's important to note that the top five will not have to race in a heat race. They will be able to make their way straight to the feature, not have to worry about all the chaos that will be in these heat races. And as we look on the track now, we see some drivers qualifying. There's Nick in the 47, and he will be making that high line work there as he finishes lap 1.
Yeah, these drivers do anything to get a little bit of speed, whether it's a tenth, something. Just these drivers want that speed because getting in the top 5 and advancing to the feature is a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we've talked about it before during qualifying. You want to run that high line, get that momentum up, get up to max speed as much as you can, and then cut it down to the low line. And we see, at least every one we've seen so far, that is their strategy as well. I also know some drivers like to kind of just sit in the pit stall a little bit, maybe waste some fuel a little bit. Is that a possibility?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Last Friday, we saw 2 occasions where these drivers would just sit in a pit stall, didn't even grid for the race for a lap, and then they'd end up coming back.
Yep, you're exactly right.
So I wonder if we're going to see that again this race here at Daytona.
We're finally seeing some good laps come through. Joshua McKinney now in that 43. You see on your screen coming back for his second lap. His first lap got him up there on the pole. So I'm going to be interested to see what is going on with him on the second lap. I'm sure we'll see somebody else here as the 48 just finished the line. And no, he did not take it. So the 43 still on top. There you see David Farmer there in the 84. He's sitting in the second position right now.
Dustin Koffel in 5th. Oh, there goes Aaron Smith the second to the top of the board. 50.21, your new fastest qualifying time. Points leader Curtis Critchley moves to second. Then there goes Andrew Navarro. We're getting all the good drivers starting to get their lap times. David Farmer improves on his second lap, gets a 50.24 and moves into second.
Yeah, Nick Mather in the 6th. He takes that third spot right there you see on your screen. Remember, it's the top 5 that moves on. So if you're sitting in the second, third spot, as Wyatt C. Martin just took second spot there. He jumped up. And so you want to be in that top 5 so you don't have to deal with these heat races. Brandon Gagnon now in the 83. Curtis Critchley, I think he might have done that on purpose there.
Raymond Ridenour, the second, 50.16 is now the leader on the top of the board. Garrett Maines not far behind with a 50.19. Garrett Maines was our previous race winner at Talladega.
I'm calling it right now. Raymond, from now on, we're calling him Rocket Raymond because every single week he is on the top of this board. He has definitely figured out something that I don't even know what he's doing. And Garrett Maines can't even top him here as he is in second position right now.
Raymond Ridenour the second has been very consistent in these races, and when I say that, I mean consistently on the top. There's Crystal King, 12th on the board. John Garrett is in 10th. We're getting still a lot of people need to get on the board. Justin Yee, Noah Sherwinski. Got Matthew T. Lee. He's always a consistent front runner. He still needs to get on the board.
Yeah, we saw John Garrett in practice. He's out here to make his run. And for me, I always like to go a little bit later than most of the other people. That way you can kind of see where they're at, see what you need to run. Dalton J. Martin, Wyatt's brother, that we saw up there sitting in the 6th position right now. Dalton puts up a lap. Let's see where he ends up. Right near his brother in the 9th position.
All right, let's see. Will somebody else get on top? There's Noah Sherwinski. Love that paint scheme. But he's in 33rd. Matthew T. Lee still needs to get on the board as well. There's Justin Botello, second in points, 1 point behind Curtis Critchley. He's starting to get on the track for his lap times.
Jared Torres there in the 30 car. Well, he's actually oh 07 there on your screen. He picked a different number on iRacing, and that happens sometimes when you have a different car number on your trading paint. So no big deal there. He'll be the oh 07 tonight. 73 of Noah Skurwinski. I think I said that right.
Yeah, Noah Sherwinski does a great job.
Sherwinski, that's right.
But nonetheless, 50.23. Jared H. Torres with a 50.20. That puts him in the third position in that 07 machine. Matthew T. Lee on his second lap gets to sixth.
Justin Yee right there in the seventh position at 64. He is just outside of that top five. But he'll have a good start for the heat races, that's for sure.
Right, a lot of those drivers who are starting just outside of the top five are still going to have great track position with starting wise on that heat race. And it's like we are nearing 7 minutes, so we are going to be doing the national anthem. Here it is.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back here to Daytona International Speedway. We are looking at your top five right now. Well, you see on your screen we have Raymond Rittenor in that top spot, Garrett Maines in second, Jared Torres takes home the third spot, Justin Botello in fourth, and Christian Sanford. That is your top five. They will not race in the heat races. They get that advantage of watching everything just fall into their lap tonight as they get to watch all the chaos. But if you're sitting in that sixth spot, you got Corey Deal, Aaron Smith, Brendan Gagnon right there behind them. They still have a good shot as they will start up front for their heat races, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen, but I feel like for those top five, the heat races are kind of a film session for them because they're going to be watching who is a good pusher, who's not a good pusher, who you should try to get close to on the track, or who you should avoid. So that's what I think these top five are going to be watching.
Yeah, and just like you viewers at home, a lot of times you're wondering, what in the world is that car doing? Trust me, these top five and everybody that's watching are doing the exact same thing. What in the world is this guy doing? And so, yeah, they're thinking the exact same thing. And they don't have to worry about that. As we get ready for Heat 1, we will start your Heat 1 lineup.
So your Heat 1 starting lineup with a 50.210. Starting on the pole for Heat Race number 1, we have Corey Deal in the 44. Outside of him, it's the 83 of Brandon Gagnon. Starting third is Logan McAnally in the 32. And then starting fourth is the 73 of Noah Sherwinski.
Yeah, starting fifth, we have Wyatt C. Martin. Sixth is David Farmer. Seventh is Nick Mather. Eighth is Colin Williams.
Starting ninth is the 22 of Andrew Navarro, and then rounding out your top 10 is points leader. It's the points leader, the number 27 machine of Curtis Critchley. Then starting 11th, we have J.R. Deal in the 23. And then starting 12th, we have the 34 of Jason Netheree.
Starting P13 tonight is Derek Fulton. Starting P14, we have Dustin Koffel. Starting P15, Curtis Burton. And P16 tonight is Matt Horton.
Then we got starting 17th, it's the 38 of Travis Paul. Starting 18th, we have the 26 of Rick Cole. 19th is going to be the 88 of Torrey Thompson. And starting 20th, rounding out the field, we have the 071 of William Ganem.
Yeah, and as they pull off of pit road and they're headed down the backstretch now, there is only one lap around this speedway until we go green. And so it will come quick and it will come intensely tonight. As heat races, if you want to think about it in a real world sense, this is basically the duels, except a whole lot more cars are going to go home. As remember, only the top 10 of each heat race will make it to this feature. So 20 cars starting, 10 moving on, 10 going home.
And to put this into perspective, we always say this, these drivers had to pay 25 hard-earned wages to enter this race, so they might not even have a chance to get in the race.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, but it's part of it here with heat races. It's what makes it so exciting sometimes. As that pace car, he's going to duck on off, and we're going to get green flag racing. I'm excited. We're getting closer to Daytona in real life, and here we are at Daytona, and green flag is out. Let's get it started.
Green flag is out here at Daytona International Speedway and getting a good restart early. Getting a good start early. You got the 44 of Corey Deal jumping out to a good lead. Is clear of that 83 on the high side.
And what I'm really interested to see tonight is how the momentum is carried between both lines. And, last week, that outside line really wasn't carrying as much momentum as I thought. It didn't have a whole lot of energy. But tonight, I think these Xfinity cars, they can really push really good. They can suck up to each other in the draft, and I think that they will make that outside line work if they can get organized enough, that is.
We got 3 cars really on that high side. We got some more coming, but still, that's really not enough to get anything going. So they're going to need to organize that high side if they want to get anything going.
But boy, we are Daytona racing. I'm excited. Here we go. They're on the outside line, finally getting organized on there. And they might make it work, but you can see how hard it is to stay together on that outside line. You don't know if the leader is going to go higher or lower. That low line has that big yellow line to tell them where exactly they're going to be. Outside has that disadvantage of that leader could really go anywhere.
Have some shout outs on Facebook. Got somebody rooting for Colin Willems, Nick Mather, CK Racing. Did Dustin just call out a rocket sighting?
I did.
We got Garen Bowser Jr. Let's go William Ganem. Anybody still can win this heat race. Not a lot of races gone by yet. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here as we're waiting to see if maybe the high line can get anything going with Brandon Gagnon as the leader. He's getting pushed by Noah Sherwinski.
Right now, Corey Deal and Brandon Gagnon are just making it happen down there on that inside line. Finally getting some, well, that's actually Brandon Gagnon in the outside line. I apologize. But they have been making it happen on our inside line, just keeping that momentum up. And that outside line finally getting some momentum. We might see something happen here as we're coming to 12 to go this time.
That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to get organized up there, and if they keep on going like this, we might see a new leader, Brandon Gagnon.
Oh, he's trying on the outside. He is doing everything he can right now, and it really comes down to the pusher behind him. And this is what we talked about earlier, is they get really squirrely on the backstretch. this is what we talked about earlier when we're trying to figure out if you're that top 5 that qualified. You're sitting here watching this. Who's a good pusher? Who's not? This is how you figure that out, right? I mean, they're either pushing really good, they're on your back bumper, they know how to draft, or they don't. And right now, those top 5, they're looking at that.
I do want to mention thank you, John Ernst, for sharing the stream. I really appreciate it. Again, make sure to share that stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Very appreciated. Exposure to the drivers, the league, and the sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing.
Yeah, it would be really awesome if we could get up to 950 followers tonight. That's our goal for this evening. So you could really help us out with that if you would just like, and even better if you would share, just to let everybody know that you're really liking what you see. As Brandon Gagnon making it work on the outside line, he likes what he sees. He sees that clear air in front of him, and I think he's going to make a run here on the front stretch. He may lead this lap, Atlas.
We'll see. They go to the line. Corey Deal is going to take that lap, but very, very close.
Oh, man, that was close. If you don't like this on a Friday night, then I don't know what you are thinking about. Is Brandon Gagnon trying to make it work so bad? But also, this is something we have to keep in mind here. This is not so much about the win as much as it is getting in that top 10. So right now we do have David Farmer in that 10th position, and that's something we got to keep a look at here as we get closer and closer to the finish.
Yeah, 10 to go. Everybody behind... Oh, it's now Matt D. Horton right now in 10th, but everybody behind him has got to be getting pretty stressed right now about thinking, hey, how am I going to get into that top 10 so I can get to the feature? They're forming a plan right now, strategizing, and we'll see what happens.
Well, let me put this into perspective a little bit. That last lap, Logan, Corey Deal was sitting there leading this race, 20th position, was just over a second behind him. So you have 20 cars packed into this little tight racetrack, and it could really go any way. I mean, think about it. They could half of them wreck on like 2 laps to go, and you're sitting there in 20th. You now have a top 10 position. As we're coming this time, they come out of turn 4, 8 laps to go, and I can only imagine it's only going to get more intense.
Now, I do want to mention the fact that these Xfinity cars draft really well, like you said before, but you can't bump, or someone is going to be going for a wild ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially in the corners. You know, we watched ARCA races a couple weeks ago, and you cannot bump in the corners with the ARCA cars. It just does not happen. And so with these, yes, you can bump a little bit, but it's not as good as the Truck Series or the Cup Series even. I mean, these cars can bump and they can move ahead a little bit, but as you see, everybody keeping their distance because they know one tap the wrong way, it could end up wrecking half the field as everybody's squirrely here coming to 7 to go.
Thank you for the follow, Kevin Gerard. Appreciate that. Again, we're going for 950 at the end of this broadcast.
Boy, Corey Deal and Brandon Gagnon right there neck and neck like they have been the whole race. Oh my goodness, as they come out of turn number 2, Brandon Gagnon gets that run on the outside, and I think he's trying to get neck and neck
we
again.
got cars in the wall, wrecking.
One up in the air there for a little bit. Comes back down, caution is out, like you said, Atlee. We'll get that wreckage replay up for you. My goodness. I didn't really see what happened there. I kind of saw it as you did, I feel like, where I just saw a car sideways back there, and I saw one get up in the air. That'd be cool to see. As we finally have it ready for you, walk us through it, Atlee.
Here we go. Let's check this wreckage replay out. Just looks like some contact between Rick Cole and J.R. Deal. Both of them getting to the wall.
Watch this right here.
50 ends up avoiding it.
Up in the air there. That could have been really bad. It came back down.
26 is heading through the grass. And disappointing there for them as they were trying to head into the top 10. We'll check that out one more time.
hearing from race control, that will be netcode. Nobody gets to fault on that. But let's see it up close here. Let's see exactly what happens. Maybe you can see the netcode as it happens.
Yeah, this will be the determiner whether that was netcode or not.
I mean, yes, it was netcode, but I also feel like, why did he go up so drastically like that in the 26?
I mean, I don't know. It looked a
Maybe,
little bit like netcode, a little bit like contact. It's a racing deal, I guess you could say.
maybe side draft? Is that what he was trying to do there? I don't know.
Not sure. Let's see. Let's look at
Huh.
that one more time.
See, he goes up and obviously doesn't touch. He gets back straight. And that was the netcode part of it. But I just
Right.
wonder why he went up to begin with. That was strange. As the 23 there gets up in the air, all four off the ground.
Now, speaking of four cars are on pit road right now. J.R. Deal, Travis Paul, Rick Cole, and Torrey Thompson all are on pit road currently. And when the caution flag came out, it was Corey Deal. He was the leader.
Yeah, that's right. Corey Deal been leading most of this race. Brandon Gagnon right behind him. And again, start on the outside, leading that outside line, trying to make something happen. As they come around this time, they will have 4 laps to go, so we might get into overtime territory here.
Yep, it
Maybe.
might be like a 3 to go, not overtime. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. Daytona's big enough to where it'll probably be 3 to go, maybe 2 to go, but definitely not overtime yet. You're probably right. There you see Curtis Critchley, our points leader, Colin Willems. And again, we see these names, and we talk about Daytona. Everybody thinks it's such a random draw as to who wins, but it's really not. Week after week, we see these top drivers rising to the front, and so that tells me it's not just about a random draw. It's more about how you can race this track.
Oh, right. It takes a lot of skill to race at a super speedway. A super speedway is a monster of a track. Daytona and Talladega, super speedway racing is some of the hardest racing. It takes a lot of practice. I mean, look at the Tuesday night series that we do, the Super Speedway Kings. Those drivers have put hours and hours and hours of practice into getting so good at these super speedways, good setups and everything, and that's how they're deemed the Super Speedway Kings.
Yeah, that's right. As you see, we do have 4 to go, and the pace car lights are off, so we'll restart with 3 to go. You were right. Not overtime yet. We're still within that 15-lap window. And they get side by side. And we're getting ready to see an intense finish. That's what we'll see.
Well, I do want to mention Intensity Broadcasting is giving their condolences right now to the Crow family, as Jimmy Crow Sr. has passed away recently. So we're
Absolutely.
sad to announce that.
Absolutely.
Like you said, lights on the pace car have gone off. We're going to get ready for some good racing.
And as we do come back, we will have 3 laps to go, like I said. But I want to point out the top 10 make it into the final. Again, like we said, Derek Fulton right now in that transfer position in P10. Right outside of that is David Farmer in the 84. I know he's wanting to get up there. You got a handful of drivers wanting to get up there, including Rick Cole, Travis Paul, J.R. Deal, Torrey Thompson, Nick Mather, and more, all trying to make their way into that top 10. As we come to the green flag, you'll see that pace car in front of this driver, Corey Deal, duck on off here. We'll get the green flag racing.
And there we go. Pace car pulls onto pit road, and we are back green here at Daytona International Speedway for some more super speedway racing, as we're going to end off heat race number 1 with a great finish. There's 10th place David Farmer right there. But there you go. There's the cutoff position. Derek Fulton. Anybody who passes Derek Fulton. And now Andrew Navarro. It's just going to be a lot of back and forth, but we'll just keep an eye out. Now Jason Nethery in that 34 is on the cutoff. Then the 22 of Andrew Navarro takes it back. Oh!
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot you can do personally. It's more about the cars around you and what they're doing. As you can see there's really no place to go for him. That inside line really got a good jump though, so I would almost rather be on the inside line. But as that momentum starts to kick up, we're here 2 laps to go. This time by, I think that outside line is going to have the momentum, so I would rather be on the outside line, Allie.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, we got a lot of people making their way up there. I think in the next couple of laps, or we only have 2 to go, but I think that outside line is going to get by the leader in the next 2 laps, I bet.
Yeah, if you're Andrew Navarro, like you said, David Farmer, Derek Fulton, all right there around the bubble, it's go time. It's been go time, but it is really go time right now as you are trying to do everything you can to get to that top 10 without wrecking the field, okay? We might see that at the checkered flag, but at least for now, everything's staying calm as we come to 1 to go this time by.
Now the sitch is David Farmer and Curtis Burton. If they stay behind the 12 in that 19 machine, we're going to have nowhere to go.
Whoa, we got a wreck back here.
The white flag came out, so no caution will come out for that.
That's right. But we still have a wreck. But right now, you're seeing the screen, I think they are safe right there. There's, I don't know, there's about 11, 12 cars, so they're racing right there. You're watching it on your screen. He's trying to do anything he can, pulls up to the outside. I don't know if it's going to work for him, though.
Well, if he gets at least a nose over Horton, he'll move into that 10th spot, but I don't know. We're coming down here into the final stretch for heat race number 1. And they spin! And the final 10th place spot is going to go to... Woo!
Curtis Burton spun there. Wow. He was trying to do everything he could, but he just couldn't make it finish his 10th. Or finish his 15th, but Derek Fulton in the 12 machine will finish P10.
Corey Deal, since we weren't looking up front, just to tell y'all, Corey Deal ended up winning the race in that number 44 machine. Brandon Gagnon second, and we are now switching over and I'm going to start gridding for heat race number 2.
I'm telling you, every week this heat racing stuff, I'll be honest with you folks. At the beginning, I didn't know how heat racing would be at Daytona. And for the first couple weeks, I still didn't know about it. But I'm telling you folks, it's getting more and more intense every week. And these drivers are getting more and more used to it. And it's putting on a great show, as you just witnessed here at Daytona. And so I'm excited for heat number 2. Man, I'm ready for it, Alan.
Well, I feel like to compare this, those drivers that are fighting for it, this is a lot like the charter drivers, the drivers who don't have a charter. They have to fight their way into the Daytona 500 by getting a good finishing position in the duels.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way where it gets more and more intense as the laps wind down. You're trying to see if you're going to make your way into the 500 or not. Yeah, I remember that actually used to be a key point of the deals, but now since we have the charters and people are locked in, it's not such a big deal as it used to be. They used to have, 50, 55 cars even try to show up to make the race, but now with the charter system and everything that they have set up, it's not exactly the same. But nevertheless, we're rolling off for heat number 2. Aaron Smith will lead this field to the green flag.
Yeah, heat race 2 is going to be anything like heat race 1. I've always noticed there's been a recurring theme where the second heat race is a lot more exciting than the first one.
Well, by exciting, do you mean caution field?
A little bit of both. It's exciting and caution filled. Heat race number 2 pretty much always is.
Yeah, fair enough. There obviously is a big difference between the two. I don't know why that is. It was like that last week, even though both were really good. One was definitely more chaotic than the other. And I have to say, last race, the heat number 1 was kind of calm, if you think about it. I mean, everybody was giving and taking, and nobody was really. Yes, we did have one caution, but overall, it was a pretty clean race, and so maybe this is the race that's going to be chaotic, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the right word.
Well, how about intense for intensity
Intense,
broadcast?
exactly.
Oh, me. Again, folks, if you're, whoa, we've got a wreck back here under
What?
caution. Yeah, caution is out. We're going to delay this yellow or delay the start here as we have some drivers. We're going to get a wreckage replay, folks, before we even take the green flag. Yeah, welcome to heat racing at Daytona. This was chaos.
This,
We're going to go ahead, Allie.
So I just don't know what to say. This is the weirdest thing. But so we're gonna see it right here. I have never seen this before. Oh, and we're going green, but we'll go back live. Oh no, we're not.
No, we're good. We're good.
We're green.
Let's take that wreckage replay again. Yeah, I'm with you though. This is odd here. Odd start to our heat race number 2. We said it would be a chaotic, but I at least expected, them to take the green flag.
So here it is. Here's what happened right here. Well, here it is. So watch that 278 of Crystal King just come in and boom. Looks like the 5 slowed down a little bit. Crystal King just goes right into the back of Matthew Baker.
Well, I don't blame her. I mean, the 5 just, I don't know what happened there to Matthew Baker.
What? I mean, I have never seen that before.
I don't think Crystal did anything wrong there. She just was going at pace speed, and the 5 just stopped. I
don't know what to say. I've never seen that before. In intensity broadcasting history, that's never happened, I don't think.
As you can see there, you were right. We did go green. So instead of 15 laps, we only have 14 laps. And we're actually going to restart with 13 laps to go.
Interesting. So already 2 laps are off the board. So that's 2 less laps that these drivers are going to have to get into that top 10.
And can I tell you, more than ever, this race chat, as we go green flag racing here, and it is out, this race chat was talkative more than ever, as everybody was wondering what in the world happened there. Aaron Smith not really wondering about it, though, as he takes that early lead, and he will go down in turn 1 confident with that lead.
Oh, I would be too. He's getting a great push from Justin Yee in that 64. Looks like Matthew Lee is going to move down to the bottom, and that high side is non-existent as we enter into the back straightaway.
Yeah, single file down the back stretch, and everybody maybe took heed from that pre-race caution. Is that the right term for it? I don't know, folks. But either way, everybody's single file right now, content, like I said, to stay there, except we got one car trying to make it work on the high line, make that 2. And if we can get some more up there, we'll have a second run. And there it is, more cars making that high line work, coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah, we'll see if other drivers will move up there, but right now I believe that's that 54 machine of Chance Dean Manning up there on that high side. And we'll watch and see if anybody else. There's that 2 machine, Casey Herring. And we're 3 wide. Or we were.
We were for a second, that's right. But right now, that outside line not really working. I know some people tried it, but not for long. Justin Yee right on the back bumper of Aaron Smith. They're getting a good run, even break away from that 3rd position of Matthew Lee right now, and they're selling off on turn 4. You do see right there, I will point out, your laps did reset, so now we're coming to 13 to go. They did not count, and we have 13 laps.
Yeah, that was so unusual with that pre-race caution there. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely odd. It was the oddest thing I've ever called. But here, single file, maybe we were wrong about this chaoticness, if that's even a word, of heat number 2. Is everybody, we got some takers here for the outside line. If they can get it working, they might be able to move to the front.
That's that 66 at John Garrett. Heath Snyder, there goes Brandon Roderick, and that Dunkin' Donuts car goes up to the high side.
I will point out, heat number 2 has a lot more of our common names: Aaron Smith, Justin Yee, Matthew Lee, Brendan Roderick, Dalton Martin, John Garrett, Heath Snyder. Ever heard of those names? That's because they're the drivers usually up front in the main race. In the feature race tonight, they're all in Heat 2 together and trying to.
Oh!
No! Caution is out at Daytona. We're sitting here at 12 laps to go. We'll get that wreckage replay up on your screen, and we'll go back and take a look here. As really, we only have about 3 or 4 cars involved. It's not really the big one, but I think that is more to the fact that everybody was kind of single file. And we'll go back and take a look at what happened right here.
Yep. Here we go. We found it. There we go. As you can see, we already see Heath Snyder sideways, so there's a little sneak peek. But there we go, just some contact with the 48 of Grayson Scott. That sends the 29 down back into Grayson Scott again. Ooh, and they just head into the wall. Everybody else seems to be able to avoid it. Oh, I don't know about that 5 car. Ooh, a little bit of contact. 47 able to make it through. Another super speedway wreck.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looks like every time. It seems like everything's going well until it doesn't, and that's what happened there. I will say Matthew Baker given an EOL penalty there. Seems like he might have had something to do with it. Nick Mather, I think he was from the previous race. He is disconnected, so he must not. I'm just trying to keep everybody updated here.
I think he probably wasn't able to qualify into the feature, so that's why.
Yeah, it's a tough break for sure, as the pace car keeps his lights on, at least for now. Coming to 10 laps to go as he crosses the line this time. And watch that pace car. If his lights go off, we'll go back green. If not, and it does not, we will stay under yellow. I'm going to look through Discord here and see if we can find a driver to pull in and interview. Is that all right with you, Atlee?
Yeah, let's do it.
As I'm looking through here. Never mind. Nobody in heat number 2 is actually in their Discord. So that is surprising. But nobody in heat 2 is here. So we'll look on at your leaders here. Aaron Smith sitting there in that top spot. Justin Yee in second. Matthew T. Lee is in third. Brandon Roderick in fourth. And Dalton Martin rounding out your top 5. As we will have fewer and fewer laps, 10 to go now. You see there, we'll have probably at least 8 to go at the green flag.
Right, and I mean, this is getting down to the nitty gritty. Right now in 11th, it's Andrew Hansley, the 4th in that 24 machine. So him and everybody behind him are going to have a tall task of getting into the top 10.
Yeah, that is a good reminder, Atlee, that only the top 10 will transfer to this main feature. So, there's 19 cars. Actually, we only have 17 now on the lead lap after that incident. John Ernst, Michael Christopher, both a lap down or more. And Brian Andrick was also involved in that. Crystal King, of course, was involved in that. And so she still has a chance. And so do the rest of the drivers on the lead lap. That pace car still... No, there goes the lights. We will go green flag with 8 laps to go as they start to double file.
I mean, the driver of the pace car, he's a great guy. You know him personally, Dustin?
You talking about Jeff Bodine? Or Brett Bodine?
I'm not sure which one drives the pace car.
I'm not either. I think it was Brett Bodine. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't know him personally. But speaking of personally, I do know if we get to 950 likes, I will personally be grateful.
getting set for this restart. Again on the front row. Aaron Smith the second, and his former pusher, Justin Yee, is going to be starting outside of him.
Yeah, Matthew Lee sitting there in the third position, and Brandon Roderick in the fourth position, looking to make something happen here. We're coming back to the green flag, like I said this time. I think maybe I would rather be on the inside line at the restart, but then when it's time to go, I would rather be on the outside line. I don't know. Adley, I haven't seen much momentum. I mean, I've seen energies come and go here on that outside line, but I haven't really seen it taking charge like I thought it would.
Yeah, in both heat races, too, it's been like that.
Yeah, that's really odd. Brandon Gagnon had really good runs on the outside line, but just couldn't make it work. And you wonder if that was the pusher or if that was just how it's going to be tonight. Either way, the pace car will come on off, and we'll get to see it unfold as we will restart with 8 laps to go. Green flag is back in the air. Aaron Smith leads this field back to green flag.
Yeah, Aaron Smith has had a great race so far, but a lot of that's in count to great pushing by Justin Yee, so we'll see if Justin Yee can get anything done on the high side. He's got Brandon Roderick behind him.
Yeah, I think Brandon Roderick's going to be a really good pusher. Exactly what he needs here to get to the front. I know they're kind of losing momentum now, but we get some help out there on the outside line, and I think that's exactly what they need. Like I said, I want to be on that high line when that momentum picks up, and we'll see kind of how it works here as Dalton J. Martin really tries to make it work on that high line, getting a really good push right now.
Yeah, let's see if Justin Yee can continue to do that, but I feel like a lot of the drivers that want to get into the top 10, if they want to do that, there goes Matthew Lee to the high side.
And we'll see who led that lap. Matthew, so close, but Aaron Smith led that lap. 7 to go. That outside line is moving, though.
And we're getting more and more people up there because I feel like if you want to get in the top 10, I think the high side is going to be the place to be.
Yeah, that's right. You see them neck and neck right now down the backstretch. Man, you got Matthew T. Lee right there trying to make it happen. He's got the 318 of Dalton Martin right behind him. If they can get a really good run out of those, Dalton Martin got loose. 3 wide now for the 4th position. And that's really going to break that outside line. Aaron Smith looking really pretty right now.
That was very nice of John Garrett. He moves back down, and that makes some room for him. And somebody gets loose into the 5 of Matthew Baker. And that's going to bring our 3rd caution. It says 2nd, but we did have one pre-race. But there we go. Caution's out. Still can't believe that.
We did have a pre-race caution. It did not count for laps. Aaron Smith right now listed as your leader. Interestingly enough, Casey Herring has moved into the 2nd position, that number 2. But for now, let's go back and take a look exactly what happened here.
So watch that 5 machine of Matthew Baker. Oh, it's something that happens in front of them. The 47 makes some contact with the 24. 48 thought something was going to happen, moves down to avoid it, turn left and pray, but instead he turns left into Matthew Baker. And then that's where this caution starts.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I heard from race control quickly over the radio saying that was the 48's doings. So, yeah, just overreaction can also get you in trouble just as much as actually being the beginning of it anyways.
Yeah, but I could see how he was thinking. He was expecting something to happen up front, and he was just going down to avoid it, but it ended up not being anything between the 24 and the 47. Let's watch his in-car camera to see exactly what he saw from his point of view.
Yeah, I always love this. Watch this. The 48, he looks ahead of him, and he sees 2 cars that will get together. And oftentimes at Daytona, you think 2 cars touch, it's about to be bad. Let me back out of it a little bit. Let me move away from the situation. And you see here that 47 does move up to the 24, makes a little bit of contact. And he's trying to just avoid that, but boom, right there's a car.
Yep. Tried to turn left and pray, but nope, he turned left into a car, and that's where this all starts. People sliding, going sideways like it's dirt.
Yeah, not fun at 100, probably 80 miles an hour for these Xfinity cars. Not fun at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's just another super speedway wreck there, but that is going to bring out the third caution of the night here for heat race number 2. But again, it says second caution, and we're only going to have a little bit of laps left when we go back green. I think, possibly, yeah, we're going to have 2 laps to go when we go back green.
Yeah, just to point out, involved in that was the 48, like we just saw. Matthew Baker in the 5 as well. So if you were pulling for them, they have some work left to do here. Not completely out of it. Maybe the 48 of Grayson Scott is, as he's a lap down, at least on the standings he is. But the 5 of Matthew Baker still has a chance. Top 16 still in the lead lap. Anything can happen. So if your driver's in that, 10th to 16th range, they're definitely not out of it. But it is go time.
Yeah, I'd say from 10th to 16th is going to be the place to watch. There's going to be a lot of shifting around, people trying to get in, get out.
Right now, showing the 47 of Nick Monfredi sitting there in the 10th position. Andrew Hansley right behind him in 11th. And Crystal King, she's in 12th. And so, again, it is anybody's race. Don't get me wrong. Anybody can make it into here. But if you're around that bubble spot, that transfer spot, John Garrett in 9th, 8th is Dalton Martin. You want to protect that so much. But if you're behind that, it's go time. I don't care what you got to do. You got to make this race.
So we will have a green-white checkered finish here when we go back green. And starting on this front row, we got Aaron Smith the second. And then outside of him, we have Casey Herring.
Didn't we say something about the heat number 2 being more chaotic?
We did. Already, we have more cautions than last heat.
We had a caution before the green flag, so...
I still can't believe that. That was just unforgivable.
You see these cars, they get double file as they slowly make their way down the back stretch.
Yep, everybody's just getting excited for this start, especially the people in that bubble area. Let's take a look at this start from the view of John Garrett, who currently is in that 10th spot. He's going to try to protect it, play some defense.
Yeah, John Garrett, it really doesn't matter if you're in the 9th or if you're in the 16th position. You're trying to get everything you can here because you want to put as many cars as you can between that 10th spot and yourself. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly, if they're willing to pull a Ryan Newman and slam into somebody just to make it, or if, they're willing to play it safe and maybe miss it. But either way, we're getting green flag racing here. 2 laps to go, as you said, our first green light checkered attempt.
Back green. So now in that cutoff spot is Nick Monfredi. He's got Crystal King behind him. Crystal goes down.
And she looks like she's got a run down there, so she takes it right now. And Nick is left hanging out to dry here.
Now Crystal's going to have to play some defense. There comes the 29 of Heath Snyder on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know if going to the outside lane was really the move to make there because there's just not enough organization up there to make something happen. Well, as I say that, half the field seems like they want to go up there as we come to 1 to go this time. Aaron Smith trying to keep the lead, but he will not. Matthew T. Lee leads that lap. But the transfer spot is up for grabs for sure.
Yeah, so still right now in 10th, Crystal King. Oh, the 47 of Monfredi makes some contact with the wall. And Heath Snyder now moves into 10th.
Yeah, that might end the 47's night there. Nick Manfredi, Heath Snyder, Crystal King, John Garrett, all right there. It'd be cool to see as we come to the line.
So Heath Snyder goes to the high side, trying to play some defense, protect his spot. And if he stays beside John Garrett till the checkered, then he's going to have it. But can somebody get by John Garrett? No.
Wow. John Garrett picks up that final position. Just outside of that was Crystal King, and she will finish 11th, not make the feature. And just like that, you see on your screen, we will jump straight to the feature event here tonight. Wow. Man, that's 2 weeks in a row we've had some good heat racing.
Right, I'm excited because, I saw some fireworks. They do that sometimes at Daytona. I think Daytona and Charlotte, after a race, and if it's a night race, they do fireworks. There it is.
That's always
on,
fun.
The bottom of your screen.
That is always fun. I love fireworks.
It's not the 4th of July, but there you go. Maybe some, Valentine's Day fireworks.
That's right. Hopefully we see some fireworks on the track, though. Woo! As we get ready for our feature event, you see everybody starting to grid up, and we will have 25 cars for 30 laps trying to do everything they can to get to the front so that they will win a lot of money tonight. I will say, remember your top 5 that qualified? Oh, yeah, they haven't raced a single lick tonight. So they will be fresh here as they come to the green flag.
I don't know. I have a love rate. Like if a team, for example, in sports hasn't played for a while, are they going to be well rested and it'll help them play or are they going to be rusty because they haven't played in a long time? That's the question.
That's the balance of it. Are you going to be prepared or are you going to be well rested? And so, yeah, that's the balance every driver faces. But I will say they got the perspective of both races. They got to watch every single driver tonight. They know exactly who's, let's say, a good pusher and who's maybe not such a good pusher, which I definitely picked up on. So hopefully these top 5 picked up on as well.
The starting lineup. Raymond Rittenor the second starting first, Garrett Main starting second, Jared H. Torres third, Justin Botello fourth, Christian Sanford fifth, Corey Deal sixth, Matthew Teeley seventh. Outside of him, we have Brandon Gagton in eighth, Justin Yee starting now ninth, and I think all we'll do, rounding out your top 10, we got Logan McAnally.
Yeah, and as we continue through the rest of the field, we will get ready for this green flag. You will see 25 cars, like we said before, will race. That pace car will slide on off the pit road, and we'll get green flag racing here. Remember, only 30 laps, not that big of a race, or not that long of a race.
Yeah, time really flies here in these super speedway races, but green flag is out here at Daytona International Speedway, and we're side by side for the lead. Both Garrett Mans and Raymond Rittenor II both have great restarts.
Neck and neck down in turn 1. Man, Raymond Rittenor got a great jump, but so did Garrett Mains on that outside line. He's keeping it right there. I think we're going to have some momentum for sure working this time in the feature. Garrett Mains really knows how to work that outside line as they head down the backstretch and in turn 3.
Yeah, this is some practice for him for that Coca-Cola Series race, which is actually going to be at Daytona.
Looking good right now. He's got some help behind him, maybe making it work here on the outside line. Raymond Rittenor taking a peek to that high line, but he stays low. And the rest of the field, maybe made some contact back there, but all clear right now as they head in lap 2.
Yep, and right now with the nose, we got Raymond Rittenor, but we're watching that high line. Can Jabo, Justin Botello, second and point, 1 point behind Curtis Critchley. Can he get a good push to Garrett Mains in that one machine and get him out front? Oh,
I'm sure these guys know what they're doing. We see We talked about it before the race. These guys show up every week, and every week, even though it's supposedly random draw, they make their way to the front. And right now, we see exactly why. They know how to push. They know how the air works. And for right now, that outside line seems to be working. Raymond Rittenor leads that lap. I thought Garrett Maines may lead it. As they head down turn one, Garrett Maines has that advantage.
Yeah, Garrett Maines is getting a good push by Justin Botello, but still, he's equal with Raymond Rittenor as we enter the back straightaway. So far, this has been very, very close racing between the two. And looks like Garrett Maines gets the nose.
Yeah, I think Garrett Maines may have this lead this time by. I think. I'm just going to go ahead and call it.
Yeah, I think this lap or
Let's
next lap.
this run. Man, he gets that run, but I think it's a little too late. Raymond Rittenor leads that lap as well.
Big run, and he takes the lead right after Raymond Rittenor got the lap. So new leader, we're going 3 wide back there.
Yeah, he got a really good run on the outside line. Raymond Rittenor did not get such a good push on the inside. That pushed him right to the lead. Garrett Maines, but just like that, he's got help from the outside now.
Ooh, some contact between the 87 and the 44. Might have been trying to side draft.
44 really
Caution's
pushing
out.
good. Oh, caution is out. Justin Patel was trying to take the lead there, but either way, we'll get that records replay, and we'll see exactly what happened. I'm watching with you folks. I have no idea what happened. I didn't see anything on my screen. I have 3 screens right now looking at 3 different angles, and I didn't see anything, but it looks like Atlee has it up now, and we'll walk it through.
Check it out. Watch that 2 machine of Navarro. Here we go. So falls in behind the 06, makes some contact. We were 3 wide. 3 wide is never a good idea at Daytona considering how skinny it is. Boom, into the wall goes Andrew Navarro. Makes some contact with the 318. And then there's wrecking behind him.
Yeah, so it was near the back, so it looks like a 3, maybe 4 car incident. Not as bad as it could have been. If that was up front, that would have taken out half the field for sure.
Oh yeah, that was a little incident. Not a big one, but still got a lot of drivers away from the front.
Yeah, definitely. But look who's up front right now. We got Garrett Maines. He tried so hard for so long. The first, 5 or 6 laps to try to make it work on the outside, and he finally did it. And the caution came out. In fact, on the outside, Justin Botello was trying to make it work. He sits in the 2nd position. Raymond Rittenor in 3rd. Corey Deal 4th. And Jared Torres in that 5th position.
That top 5 is going to be fighting for it. But we're already 25 laps to go in this race. But I still think maybe a lot of the drivers who might have been intentionally starting in the back, it might not quite be go time for them yet, considering we did have that 1 caution.
Yeah, I think you wait until you have a really, really big wreck, and then you go. A 2 or 3 car incident, not really the type of thing to make you want to go just yet. Not enough laps to go yet, but yeah. So I think they're starting at the back on purpose, or they're staying at the back on purpose. As for the rest of them, Garrett Maines, Justin Botello, Raymond Rittenor, Corey Deal, Jared Torres, like I said, they are trying to stay out front. Now, what I don't like, Aaron Smith, we talked about earlier, Curtis Crucially, our points leader, they are in the middle of this pack.
Ooh.
That is not where you want to be, Atlee.
Absolutely not. That's just the recipe for disaster right there. But they can't go anywhere. because, I mean, they couldn't make any moves, but now's the chance here on this restart to get a good jump and make some moves.
Yeah, you see on your screen, those pace car lights, they go out, and we will restart with 23 laps to go, which may seem like a lot here at Daytona, but it goes a little bit quicker than you think.
We do have a shout out for John Garrett on YouTube. David Allen says, good luck, John Garrett, number 66 right now. John Garrett is currently in 20th. Has a lot of ground to make up, but still a lot of race left. So I think John Garrett has a chance here.
Well, he might be one of those cars trying to take it easy, trying to avoid the wreck. So he might be doing it on purpose. I know he's one of those drivers that we've followed in the past, and he's always up there. And so maybe he's trying to avoid the wrecks here. You don't know.
Right, everybody has different strategies here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series. Which ones will work here?
Well, you know my strategy. I like to stay up front. I like to not stay in the back. I don't like cars wrecking in front of me, kind of stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have like a 50% chance of avoiding the wreck. But if you're in the front, like the top 5, and it happens behind you, you have a 100% chance of avoiding the wreck. So I like your thinking, Dustin.
Well, that's just my strategy. A pace car will duck on off. We'll have 23 laps to go. And we have front row, Garrett Maines, Justin Patello. Green flag is back out. Garrett Maines has control of this field. Justin Patello trying to make it work on the outside. Doesn't have exactly the help he would want, but it's there, I guess.
Yeah, Justin Patello falling behind already is cleared by Garrett Maines. We got to get Corey Deal getting a good push. Corey, the real deal.
Gave him a really good push on the back stretch, and I think that'll give them the run as they are neck and neck now for the lead here on the back stretch to going down turn 3. Maybe even Justin Patello has an edge. I don't know if it'll last going down into 3, but coming off of 4, it'll be really interesting to see if Justin Patello can lead this lap. He's got the 44 pushing really good right now.
I do want to shout out Elite Pylon on Twitch, says, let's go Patello. Justin Patello, there he is right there, fighting for it up front. If Corey Deal can get him a good enough push, he'll be out in the lead. But they couldn't quite get it there.
I will say Justin Patello, he led that lap. Actually, that's the first time we've seen all night that outside line lead the lap. And so that really tells me 44 and the 20 really have it hooked up, and I'm excited because I think the outside line maybe have a fighting chance after all.
Yeah, the high side has a great chance, but they're fading a little bit as Garrett Maines clears that high side and gets that to a good lead. Here's Brandon Gagnon in that 83, because it's not just those front 2 cars that makes the difference. Brandon Gagnon could also get, but there is a saying, don't push the pusher.
Yeah, you don't want to get 3 cars involved. That'll really mess things up. But the 44 and the 20, if they can really get hooked up here, maybe Brandon Gagnon, the 83, if they can kind of just stay behind him exactly like he's doing, I think you'll see they'll have the advantage going into 3. I know that inside line will really have the short line you see on your screen. But Justin Patello, watch him as he comes out the corner. If Corey Deal can really get a good push here, maybe not this lap, but next lap, watch as he comes off of 4. That's where the momentum is. As you see, they'll go down to turn 1. And man, he's got the run on the outside. I don't know if he can hang it though.
Yeah, I think they're going to continue to battle side by side for, I think, till at least 15 to go, and then Justin Patello might get him. This is going to be a long fought battle. This is going to take a lot of momentum. They're going to need a lot of momentum if they want to get out because Raymond Rittenor in that 87 is giving a great push. A little bit separated right now, but giving a good push to Garrett Maines in that one machine. Wow, we are nearing halfway to go. Make sure to follow and subscribe on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and you have Facebook, make sure to follow Intensity Broadcasting on there. If you're on Facebook and you have a YouTube account, make sure to do it. Because we don't just have Facebook, we also have YouTube and Twitch as well.
Yeah, and we see Raymond Rittenor.
Oh!
Oh!
That was a close one there. Near
Yeah,
wreck.
it was. I was going to say Raymond Rittenor really staying on Garrett Maines' bumper and really pushing him to the front. But yeah, almost a really big wreck there as we are getting down here to the nitty-gritty. 18 laps to go this time by. That's almost a halfway. Garrett Maines leading this field. Justin Metello trying to make it work on the outside line. I don't know if he has that help. He's got the 44 Corey Deal right behind him. And I think on the backstretch, they're actually going to have all the momentum right here. Justin Metello trying to get clear. Just doesn't do it. I don't know if the Xfinity cars just don't have the push. I don't know what it is. But that outside line is not working.
Yep, Justin Metello trying to get a great run with Corey Deal. They still haven't been getting a good enough run to get by Garrett Maines, and I predicted that. I said at about 15 to go, they're finally going to make the pass. We're at 17 to go right now. We'll see if that'll actually happen.
Well, I mean, if he could get the push from Corey Deal, maybe you could make it happen on the outside line. But right now, all he can do is exactly what you show on the screen, get side by side.
Yeah, and it's been like that for at least 5 laps now, and it's unless they can capitalize and make a move, then I mean it's gonna stay like that.
I thought they were going to make it 3 wide there as they came out of 4, but everybody stayed in line, making it just as clear as we've seen. And again, side by side down in turn 1, but just can't get that advantage. And so we will be halfway. Actually, right now we're halfway, but as we come to the green flag, or to the start finish line, excuse me, we will be halfway. Trying to get that run on the outside. I mean, he gets there, you can see, but just not enough to clear.
And I've also noticed, too, that there's 2 separate packs as well behind to say,
Oh, there it is.
and we're wrecking as I say that. Woo! And that's some front runners, too.
Yeah, Christian Sandfield involved. He goes to the back. A bunch of cars involved in this. Matthew T. Lee is involved in that. Aaron Smith involved in that. Bunch of cars involved in that. You see the wreckage replay on your screen. We'll try to get back to exactly where that started. Right now, we have no caution on the track.
Wait, what?
No caution, Atlas.
So, nope.
They are still racing. Justin Metello trying to make it work on the high side with Corey Deal. But let's go back and take a look at it.
Still look at it anyway.
Yeah, I'll keep a look at on what's happening up front here.
So it looks like some contact between Christian Sanford and McAnally. And that's just where it all starts. And everybody, there goes Matthew Lee, gets hit in the quarter panel. Wyatt C. Martin gets contact. Brandon Roderick. Curtis Critchley gets involved, I think.
Yeah, a bunch of cars there.
Man, that's disappointing there for everyone that was involved. We'll check that out one more time. Let's count how many people were involved. We got Christian Sanford and Mick Nally.
I cannot believe that was not a caution. I don't even understand.
So far, I've counted 6 cars involved in this one. Dustin, what's the amount of cars to where it's considered a big one, in your opinion?
I think it's probably 8 or more.
8 or more cars. It looks like we had 6
Yeah.
involved in that. And looks like we have a little bit of a separation behind Casey Herring to Noah Sherwinski. We only have like a 9-car pack, 10-car pack here.
Yeah, this top 10 is broken away from the rest of the field for sure. And I think that's just because they were able to avoid all that was going on. Now, what this has done is it has really broken Justin Metellow's, I guess, momentum on the outside line. I've been steadily watching this. He is not able to get up there like he has been. You can see him now on your screen. He's there, but he's up to the second place, maybe to the quarter pedal, Garrett Maines, but he hasn't been able to stay neck and neck like he has in the past.
Yeah, they did have a lot of cars up there, and well, looks like he's getting there.
Well, you can see here, like I said, he's up to the quarter panel, but as you remember just a couple of laps ago, he was taking the lead there on the backstretch, going down into 3. This time, you can see he's just not got what it takes to lead it here.
Yeah, and that's also, we gotta watch Corey the real deal in that 44 machine. He's gotta give that 20 machine a good push as well if they want to get something done on that high side.
I was about to say, he proved me wrong there as he does get neck and neck with Garrett Maines, but going down to the turn, Garrett Maines easily takes that lead back.
It's been all Garrett Maines pretty much this entire race, just as it was last race. Garrett Maines was the winner of the previous race at Talladega, mainly in part to some great pushing by Matthew T. Lee, but this race, it's been Raymond Rudinor that was the good pusher for Garrett Maines.
Oh, he's been there the entire time right behind Garrett Maines. I mean, I got to tell you, for somebody who really, I guess he started on the pole tonight, he's been a really good pusher for Garrett Maines. Kept him out front, 10 to go. This could get exciting.
Still, the high side just trying to get something done, and they're only going to have 10 more laps to do it if they want to try to get a good run.
Oh, you can feel that energy start to pick up. Even though there's only about 10 or 11 cars here, you can feel that energy start to pick up. And that 44 is really trying to stay on Justin Patello. You'll see him get really close right here, coming out of 4. Look how close he gets, and that's going to push him right to the lead. He may lead this lap with that momentum.
We do have some other drivers catching up to this pack right here. Noah Sherwinski and Dalton J. Martin caught the draft, and they're now adding 2 more cars to that previously 10-car pack. We'll see if that might change some things.
Justin Patello's got a good run here on the outside line. I think on that backstretch he might be able to do something if he can get some help, but I don't know if it's there. They are neck and neck right now. Just not getting that advantage you want to see and you expect to see from that outside line. Usually the outside line has the authority, but tonight they are being very submissive to the
Oh, and the 44,
no.
Corey Dillon to the wall, and then he makes contact with Justin Yee, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to bring out the caution, and no, it will not caution for the second time where we have a wreck, but no caution comes out.
That leaves Garrett Maines out there all alone. Justin Patello hung out there. I mean, he does have right behind him, he got some help, but Garrett Maines is out there by himself. As I say that, Justin Patello got a really good run there. He's got a good push now, and he may actually be able to take the lead here coming off of 4.
Couldn't quite get it, but Brandon Gagnon, ever since he became the pusher of Justin Patello, has done a good job, but they fall behind now a little bit.
Yeah, it's craziness here tonight. I can't believe that. That's been really two big wrecks that haven't caused a caution. And of course, the Super Speedway Series do not throw manual cautions. They only use iRacing cautions. And so, if iRacing doesn't throw a caution, then we stay green. And that's what was happening here tonight. 7 laps to go.
Like they're going to be going by lap traffic. That's Brandon Roderick in the 93. He's probably going to pull in with the rest of the field and maybe help out. That a lot of times happens with the lap cars. Probably suck up with the draft, back up to the tail end of the field.
Again, I say Garrett Maines out there leading this field. He's been side by side with Justin Patello this whole time, but right now he is in control. Raymond Rittenauer really giving that push he needs. So he's holding Justin Patello back. 6 laps to go right now. Well, actually 5.5 as they go on the backstretch.
Man, this is just so far been all Garrett Maines, and the high side is trying to do something, but so far they haven't been able to. And a lot of that is in part to Raymond Rittenauer II, giving great pushes to Garrett Maines.
Well, I really think that outside line needs to get close, and they need to start touching each other. The 19 really right there behind him, just not giving exactly what he needs as they go down in turn 1. Yes, he is neck and neck, but it's not exactly what Justin Patello needs. He needs to right there own it. Like Raymond Rittenauer is, the 19 is just not that close as it needs to be.
Yeah, that 19 McAnally car, he's got to get that front bumper on the back bumper of that 20 machine of Justin Patello.
I mean, we're coming to 5 to go. It's not like there's, 25 to go. It's go time, 19. Get there.
And then there's also the 2 machine of Casey Herring. He can try to do something as well, but I mean, it's the 19. He's got to do something. Get to that back bumper of the 20 of Justin Patello. That can get the high side moving as we now have 4 to go.
4 to go, like you said, on the outside line. They're trying to make it work on there, but I just don't know. We haven't seen it all night. That 19 is just not giving the push to Justin Patello that he needs, and the outside line is just not carrying the momentum that we're used to seeing here at Daytona. We're used to seeing that outside line really taking charge, but again, just not doing it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're now going towards 3 to go, and unless the 19 can finally put the rocket boosters on, I don't know if the high side will be able to do anything.
9 out of 10 times, Atlee, I want to be on that outside line with the momentum. But tonight, I want to be where Garrett Maines is. I want to be on the inside line. I don't care how close Justin Patello comes. I think that inside line's got it.
And there goes their lapping now, the 12 of Derek Fulton. But you're right. I mean, Garrett Maines is in the prime position to be on the racetrack right now. And just, it's been like all race where the high side, except for that one time where Garrett Maines made the pass to the bottom to actually take the lead, the high side has been, it's been existent, but it just hasn't had the momentum that we've seen in previous races, and I know it can do that.
Yeah, it can do it. That's what's so confusing about it. As I will say, that was their closest lap yet. Justin Patello right there, 37 thousandths of a second behind Garrett Maines there. And you can see just how close they are. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to stay in this view down in turn 3. You can see just how Justin Patello gets a run here. And, well, as I say that, he doesn't really get a run. 3 wide.
Casey Herring making it 3 wide. Oh, he makes some contact with the 19. They're bouncing off each other.
He's got some help back there.
Oh, yeah, that's the 07 of Torres.
White flag in the air.
Man, can Justin Patello do anything, and does he have anything for Garrett Maines in that one car? We'll see here on this final lap.
Not a whole lot of help on the outside line as they broke it up in the 3 wide. Justin Patello trying to do everything he can. He's got some help on the outside, but I don't know if he's going to make it work. Garrett Main's really controlling this race right now.
No, but we're 3 wide for the lead right now because here comes that third line with only 2 cars that are making it work, Casey Herring. But I don't know, we're entering now the final stretch here. Oh, makes contact with the 19, and they're wrecking. There's only 3 cars left. Garrett Maines has the nose. He goes down, and they make contact. Garrett Maines takes the win here at Daytona International Speedway. He's won the past 2 races. This is his 2nd win in a row here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series. Man.
Well, I mean, there was just nothing that Justin Patello could do. He was outside getting the push every single lap. Raven Rittenauer there, you see sliding sideways across the line. But Justin Patello did everything he could tonight. I mean, there was just not the energy and the runs coming from the outside line that we're used to seeing. And so I'm sure Justin Patello was expecting a little bit more, but congratulations to Garrett Maines. He will be our winner tonight at Daytona.
The crazy thing is that this is his 2nd win in a row. He won last week at Talladega, and he does it again here at Daytona. 2 different tracks, 2 different races. Both times came with the W.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about how Daytona and Talladega are just random. You know, anybody can win, which is technically true. But listen, I mean, there is some serious talent to super speedway racing, as Garrett has shown. He has won 2 in a row here in the Super Speedway Series, and we'll get ready for some interviews here. But there is some strategy and some talent here.
But first, let's go ahead and look at the final finishing results, because we only saw that top 3 and where they finished. The rest of the drivers, I'm not actually sure where everybody ended up. So let's take a look at that final finishing order.
Well, that's because they all wrecked.
Right, so I'm just wondering where everybody ended up as we're trying to get it up here. Can't get the finishing results up right here. So I'll just read them off. Garrett Maines is the winner. 2nd place ended up going to Justin Patello. 3rd, Raymond Rittenauer. The 2nd. Finishing 4th was Colin Willems. He was the hard charger. There we go. 5th place, rounding out your top 5, was Jared H. Torres. 6th was Casey Herring. Finishing 7th was Brandon Gagnon. 8th was Logan McAnally. Finishing 9th was Noah Sherwinski. And rounding out your top 10, Dalton J. Martin. Finishing 11th was the 22 machine of Andrew Navarro. 12th was Joshua McKinney. 13th ended up being Curtis Critchley. 14th, Wyatt C. Martin. And 15th, Matthew T. Lee. Finishing 16th was Matt D. Horton. Rounding out your top 17 was Aaron Smith II. And 18th was Heath Snyder.
Yeah, and with such a good race tonight, I'm just can't get over how much that outside line could not get the momentum going.
Just to finish off the results here, Chance D. Manning, John Garrett, Corey Deal, Derek Fulton, Brandon Roderick, Christian Sanford, and Justin Yee. But you're right. I mean, we haven't seen that. But again, they couldn't get it going, and we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we're so used to the outside line really taking charge and being able to make their way to the front. But Garrett Maines able to hold it down on that inside line, and he led obviously the most laps tonight. And we will start the interviews here. We will get Raymond Rittenauer, who started in that pole position tonight. Raymond Rittenauer, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Raymond, this is Dustin and Atlee in the booth. Man, congratulations on that 3rd spot. You were up front a lot tonight, definitely in that top five. How did you see this race unfold, and what did you think about that outside line?
Oh, I wanted to stay up front, but got missed the run there, and Gary got in front of me, so I just decided it was the safest there because last week I got up on the top line and I got turned, so I figured I'd just try to help him and stay low and stay safe.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw you pushing Garrett there for at least half the race, and so did you ever think maybe on the last lap you would take a run for it?
Thought about it, but it was a little tight to just jump up there. I didn't want to wreck everybody, so I just figured stay there and see what I can get.
Well, fair enough. Well, congratulations. You started on the pole tonight, so congratulations for that. And you also finished third. So, is there anybody you would like to shout out or not?
Thank my sponsor, Lucky Dogs. Got to congratulate Garrett on the win there, and you guys for putting on a heck of a broadcast.
I appreciate it, Raymond. We will hopefully talk to you next week as you always are up front, and we'll see you in the booth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like we do not have second place Justin Battelle in the booth, so we're going to go straight to the first place interview with Garrett Maines. Here we go. Garrett, this is Atlee and Dustin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was a great race. You made an early move, went up to the high side, ended up taking the lead, and after that it was all you, and you ended up crossing the line first. I mean, what happened here at Daytona from your eyes?
I can tell you it was all Raymond. That dude never came off my bumper. That was fantastic. I've never had somebody push so perfectly like that. So big shout out to him. That was perfect. I honestly have no words. Like that was one of the best pushers I've ever had and seen in a race. I thought for sure, when Brandon hopped up there pushing Jabo that it was over because you got a fresh engine pushing somebody, and we were like just enough there to be able to push going into 3, and that was all there was. Like once we got clear 2 or 3 times, fresh engine didn't matter no more. It was back to being hot, and we were able to prevail on the bottom. But big thank you to him for that.
And that's 2 weeks in a row where you had great pushers.
Yeah, no doubt. Last week, Matt was on it. We got I think we got 1-2 last week. Circumstances worked out for him to get that. So nothing to be mad about. That's how that's how you want it to go. That's for sure. So just big shout out to them for the last 2 weeks.
Speaking of shout outs, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank, sponsors or anything like that?
Yeah, I got to thank Smithfield, 101 CBD, SimSeat, Strickland Hardy, Linux, Bradley Mechanical, OfferPad, ComServe, Swag, all the guys over at Elliott Sadler Esports for all their help this year. About to start the Coke Series on Monday. Really looking forward to that. Had a really, really strong first race in the Clash. And unfortunately, we got involved in the last lap crash on the backstretch. We were running P2, looking like we might get it, but hopefully we can put ourselves in that position again on Monday night and go from there.
Yeah, so good luck with that Coke series, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, we do want to pull in Justin Batillo. Justin, do you have a copy?
I got it.
All right, Justin, we saw you struggle for most of this race on this outside line, trying to make it work, trying to get just at least to the front. Man, but you were never able to do it. What was the struggle out there tonight?
Different. It was really weird. I think we had some left front contact early in the race, and it kind of affected us a little bit, but they were doing a really good job pushing on the bottom. There was like really nothing we could do there. We tried everything and everything. I mean, we threw the kitchen sink at it, and they were just doing such a good job pushing on the bottom, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so you think it was the bottom pushing more than it was on the outside? That's really interesting. It's been a long time since I've seen that inside line just dominate like that. So what do you think you could have done as a driver differently there going into it next time?
I don't know. I feel like we were doing everything we could right there to just try and get the dub, and we just couldn't do it. We tried everything we could, and they just did such a good job. I have no idea what we could have done differently, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, fair enough, Justin. I appreciate you coming on with us. Let us know who you can shout out tonight.
Shout out Fort Worth Screen Printing. They do a great job custom design screen printing out there, and Splash and Go Graphics for the paint scheme, and my whole Twitch chat on my Twitch channel.
Well, Justin, congratulations again on a second place finish, and we will see you here next time in the booth, hopefully.
Thank you so much. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you for the broadcast tonight.
Thank you.
So, I mean, all I have to say here for the final thoughts is just a few words. No high side and good pushing.
Well, I never would have guessed it, Atlee, that the inside line is where you would want to be. But Garrett Maines, he actually passed the leader on the outside line and got down there on the inside, and nobody else could pass him.
Yeah, it was no turning back for Garrett Maines. So one more time, congratulations to our winner, Garrett Maines. Good luck to him in the Coca-Cola Series. And we're going to round it out here. Thank you, everyone, for watching this race here on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And also, we do have Twitter as well, so go and check that out. And as we are on the road to 1,000 followers on Facebook by April 27th. It's a big goal, but I think as a racing and iRacing community, I think we can do that. So make sure, if you haven't already, make sure to drop a follow. I'm Atlee @ManWees. Thank you for watching, and make sure to stay tuned because on Sunday we're going to be having the original Rebels Racing League, which is always fun racing. So make sure to tune into that, and hopefully we'll see you there. I'm Atlee @ManWees. Thank you for watching. Over and out.